Hello everybody, my name is Elnator, and welcome back to Megurigaoka. Now if y'all have not seen my last video where I showed off the entire school grounds, go watch that first. It will be probably the first line in the description. There's just one minor thing I've made since the last time I was here to the school itself. For the most part everything's the same, other couple minor things. But I've actually made a custom glass texture. One thing I cannot fix though, because ever since 1.13 I can never figure out the sounds, but unfortunately they still have the wooden sound doors. So glass doors still sound like wood. That's unfortunate. However though, I've also made a custom classroom texture. Those I kind of based it off of the Stevens traditional glass texture and then modified it and whatnot, make it look like a door. This one I made it all myself, which is why it's so plain and whatnot. If you're a good texture artist, feel free to make a accurate metal door used for the classrooms. Same thing with the sounds there as well. Since they're supposed to be sliding doors, I want to actually change the sound for them, but I'll get to that later. So you may notice I've started a town here. These are the buildings that are most commonly seen because they're right outside the school. So I started here, and you may also notice, well, that's right about it around here. Now this is gonna take me a while, but I ever since the last one, I've done a lot more research into school live, and I've learned that it is based off the Nerima word over in Tokyo, Japan. This is gonna take a while, so I was able to use real world maps and well the real world location of Nerima as a main basis for the whole setup of this town. Don't know why, but this area chunks just load really slowly, and I don't know why. Let's just whenever head off in this direction. But anyways, so this is gonna look familiar again, but this is Megurigaoka Station. I'm probably gonna change the text because since then I actually found a different data pack. I'll get to that later. So this is the front. There's going to be buildings and whatnot around here. I haven't gotten to that yet, but for now I just use banners. And then I did the whole inside, again based off real world pictures of Nerima Station. And you may also notice this glass is illegal, because if you were to plop down a single plane it's just going to be a stick. But I've had a lot of fun with debug sticks and whatnot. I also wanted to save the banners, just because. So now we're going to follow the railroad track. This is going to take a while. So I'm going to talk a little bit as I take my time to get over there. It's a wandering trader. So this is the river. This is part of it. The river goes in and around the town. That's another wandering trader. It's only supposed to be one per world. But that river is seen a few times. There are various shots, especially the original ending, or the first ending for episodes like 1 through I think it's like 4, and then like another one after that. But anyways, so that river, I'll actually get to that river. Actually no. While I'm here, I'll get to that river now. That train station is based off of another real world train station, and I'll get to there later. These chunks are really slow. Let me reloading all chunks. All chunks did not reload. Okay, we'll give it a second. But this specific road I intend to be using as like the final ending road, is where you see them all slowly like walking across the road. You've got the river in the background, you got the big old town in the distance, and then eventually they pass by Megune's car, and then farther at the end they pass by a like heap of rubble and whatnot. That was my intent for this road. It does go on for a while. Same thing with the rivers. There's part of town over there. So I'll be getting my plans for this town later on, but let me head back this way to the other train station, because I actually have more to say. There's a reason why that specific train station is here. Don't know the name of it. I could check, probably, if I looked at Google Maps again. Speaking of Google Maps, I actually made a custom map, and if I remember, I'll need to make sure to post a link in the description where I detailed few of the spots from Nerima. So, as you can see, I finally got around to finishing them all, and I'm not sure how I feel about it because I started with the whole front piece because I wanted to make the whole front piece as accurate as possible. But in doing the front piece, the inside turned out to be very unsymmetrical or asymmetric, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. But and I've already redone like half of them all like 3 or 4 times because I could just never get it. I could never settle on something that feels accurate to the show. So if you see the asymmetry, please ignore it because I still did my best. So I might change it if I get enough complaints. I might end up changing it, but I'll get to that later. And I never did a border for the ground. I kind of left it as the blobs. I may or may not fix that after this video. But anyways, you walk through. Here's the main first area. You got the escalators, the piano, the tables, and the flipped over chairs and whatnot. So, and I looked through the scenes that involve this main area a few times. The mall has 4 floors, but this one area, only 3 of them are visible. So, I'll get to that later as well. Yeah, the roof, you could really see the asymmetry, but in the end, the whole front of the building was asymmetric. So, in between making things fit and making things feel right, and consistent spacing and whatnot, that's how the floor is pretty decent. But yeah, looking up, you can see that's an odd shape. So bear with me. And you can also notice a lot of things are empty. That's because I've left all the shops empty. Kind of like how the school, I left all the classrooms empty. That's a lot of little details. So for now, all these little back areas, those are all going to be shops and whatnot. That's my intention. So this is the main front area. And then we head back here. This is important because let's see, in episode I think it's 4. It was when Mickey and Kay ran over to the elevator. It was like, oh, it's stuck on the bottom floor. Kay pointed to the right of the escalators, so logically it would be in this general area, and based on what I had built so far, this was a good fit for it. Let me pull out a piece of glowstone because this model can be dark, and I don't want to ruin it too much for y'all. So, head down here. No elevator, because if I'm going to add an elevator, I want to actually be working. That's probably going to involve data packs and whatnot. I'll get to that later. But way down here, because if you saw, there was actually a basement level. So there's nothing here. There's no basement, but the room is set up. I might do something. I might add like a tunnel or something down there. So the mall does have a basement. There's the entrance, and I actually don't think there's any other way in. I kind of forgot about that, but no big deal. Actually, I'll head back up to the 4th floor to continue explaining. This is not the 4th floor. Just kidding. One more. Alright, so this whole way is blocked off because, as I said, from the main area, you can only see 3 floors, but the mall is always boasted about having 4. So the 4th floor only continues down this long hallway. So this long hallway, you can see, you've got, again, those are all going to be the shops and whatnot along the sides. And I'm not sure how I feel about the floor because it's the same pattern, these diagonal stripes of blue and yellow and whatnot. But they ended up being a little bit wider because looking at the pattern itself, it goes from light to dark to light to dark, back to light. So the pattern's the same, it's just that the tiles are a lot larger. But oh well. So again, lucky 1st floor, you got glass on the bottom. When I head back outside, I'll explain more out there. But this is when you see those longer shots, and I actually, I may add it. I'll get to adding it later. But somewhere around, like right in the middle of either this glass piece or this glass piece, I'll add the little bench where Mickey and Kay first meet Toromaru. So I'll be getting to that little like potted plant colored bench thing. So I'll get to that later, and then I added more escalators over here Now I'm gonna head outside because I'm gonna explain a few things. There is only one outside picture, and that only one outside picture cuts off right about maybe there or so. You can only see a small portion of this whole design piece right here, so everything after this, I made this up. There's no proof that this is the real design for the rest of the mall. So this whole section, everything after right about here, I made up because I wanted to keep it the same design pattern. I say it fits pretty well, basing it off of that first piece over there. But there is no visual proof because they never show this side of the mall. But judging on their movements and how long things take to go from place to place, it seems like there's a lot more over here that's never shown. They just never show the outside of the mall because the main entrance is always over there. That's the grand thing, and then you got this hallway with shops. But so keep in mind that this whole section over here I made up. However, though, based on real-world pictures of the, I think it's Olinus Mall, at the end of the hallway there are more escalators, which is why I added these escalators right here. So again, pointed out from Real World Place. Now I might keep this white, might not, but I didn't really know what to do with this area because I had to cut off the glass quickly on the left side. Because over here, actually, I'm going to point this out. So the first floor escalators work fine. The second floor, you kind of hit your head. Same thing. Wait, yeah, sorry. From the first to the second, it's fine, but to the third and fourth, no, from the second to the third floor, you kind of hit your head on the stairs, but they still work. But I wanted to keep the design the same as the escalators way over there. And I forgot to show you. That right there and these right here are the stairs. Because in episode 5, I think, when everyone finally goes up to the 4th floor, so somewhere around this area, my guess. It's hard to say because all the inside views of the mall, it's hard for you to place together everything. Like, there was plenty of different angles for the school to be able to piece together where everything is. For the mall, there's not that many. So, they reach the top of the stairs, Toromaru starts barking. Why does Toromaru start barking? Again, placement questionable, but my best guess is right over here, somewhere in here. So you got this good old room, same thing with top window that opens, but you enter this room, and this is where I would say, or this is my design at the storage room where Mickey and Kay remained for quite a while. They never specify how long. Maybe it does somewhere and I missed it, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So you got the little box they would eat on. They would always have breakfast with their cereal and water. You got the couch. You got the little sink. Got the little bathroom with the window. Nothing in there. You got the locker. You got the, and then of course you got the shelves of all the boxes in there. And all these are empty. I just didn't feel like putting stuff in there. So I say this is the. The room ended up being a little bit smaller than I wish it did, but between on how much of the outside I already built and the way things would look on the inside for spacing, this ended up being the size. But I was able to fit all the main details in. This corner just feels a bit cramped, but technically the door is neither thinner nor wider than the locker. So and same thing if we had the let me pull out Waza, my master key. These dispensers still work as actual storage. So again, keeping potential roleplay in mind or other uses for this map, because I will provide a download when I'm done. But potential uses, these lockers, same thing at the school. All these little lockers I designed are useful for storage. You just got to pull out the master key, which currently it's again same thing there. So again, keeping functionality in mind, I intend on this whole map being used for a actual survival roleplay series. That's the goal in mind, while still keeping it out as authentic as possible. Now over here, the last place for them all, the cinemas. Now, how did I get the signs like this? I used a data pack because I went a little bit experimental on these data packs, so I wanted to get a little bit more details. So with these new signs, I might actually replace the Megurigaoka sign. But anyways, y'all want to see the movies, or cinemas as it's called over here. So you got the good old checkered floor, walk in through the glass windows. This is the concession stand area. I didn't put any details. Same thing with the rest of the stuff. It's the little detail that I know is going to take me a long time to perfect. So the main things, such as like the storage room, and then of course the different classrooms at the school, I wanted detailed. But for the most part, the general stuff I'll leave till later. So then somewhere around here, you got the sign that says, what does it say? I am Destiny, and it had a picture of a dog on it. Don't remember what about, but Yuki pointed it out before everyone started leaving. But we're gonna head down this way. So the reason why those doors are there because first you can walk in. So this is how you actually get back here because carpets between carpets and half slabs, you actually cannot crouch, and in fact, even if crouching, you cannot jump over the stand. So just for you people who wanted to pole vault. So and then also, actually, I'll get back here next. This is the projector. I'm not going to turn around. I'll get to that next. Nothing important. Turned around anyway, whatever. So this is my take out a projector. Again, debug stick to make sure the stand's actually straight up. So I don't know. I might put other things back here when I actually go through and detail everything. So over here, this is the hallway that was blocked. You got the tipped over plants and then the chairs. And then too much detail. I couldn't add a broom handle on the doors without making things look weird. So this same thing with the glass texture. I actually used this specific texture right here, and then I kind of changed it a little to actually make it look more like the movie theater doors. So you go in, Kurumi takes a peek, sees all of them in here watching a movie, and she's like, "Uh-oh, I gotta go." So then she starts running away. I'm gonna close that door, OCD, kind of. So I believe that is it for the mall. Other than I did staircase, I did the room. So yeah. So time to start explaining my future goals for this. So as you have noticed, there's not much of the town done, and that's because, well, by now I realized this is a lot of work. But now that I figured out all the proper placements and whatnot, I'm really hoping that I might be able to get some community assistance with this. The only requirements would be that you have Discord and have seen all 12 episodes, obviously, so you know what to help with. But the main things is because I want this whole place to be like the show, filled with houses and trees and whatnot, make it feel like an actual town, because right now it's all empty. And then same thing with all the train systems and whatnot. So the rails do work. They do go all the way around from this station all the way to the other. But I'm hoping to have it be a complete loop. But as I just said, I'm really hoping to get some community assistance with this, and this video is already long as well. Sun's coming up. So contact me on Discord, and I'll be able to get server set up. The main things I would need help with is all the little town buildings, because some of those shots, there are just houses and offices and whatnot just everywhere. And there's also a lot of poofy trees. Those, there's a data pack for, so I'll be able to make the poofy trees, which is why there's none over here. But the main thing I need help with is building all these towns, and then maybe also adding or fixing any inconsistencies. The only thing with the glass doors is all these like houses, they now have glass doors as well. So I think all of these have the glass doors. The only building that actually does, I think, is this one, because this makes me think of a hospital. I don't know what building it actually is, but it just reminds me of a hospital. I can't remember if one of these buildings around here, I think, had a helipad on it. Some building had a helipad somewhere, so maybe that's hospital. Anyways, before I ramble on too much, that is all. So if you wish to help out, then feel free to say so. So let me final off. So the few textures I changed, I'll start here. 3 doors. You got the glass door, which used to be oak. You got the metal door, which used to be birch, and then recently it's the cinema's door. I might change that to cinema. I don't know how I feel. I might change it to just be red door, but if it's just red, wine. Anyways, I'll figure out the naming eventually. And then a little minor thing. As you can see, the gold shovel is now different as well. I made it a copper shovel. So using the gold shovel as a template, I was able to, oopsies, I was able to more accurately recreate. So now, if you use this world, the golden shovel will be an actual copper shovel that I did my best to recreate from the show. I even made it a little bit pointier, and the handle was a pain because it's triangular, and triangles in Minecraft is hard. Triangles at an odd angle in Minecraft is even harder. But I say it turned out well, and I'm very happy with how the copper shovel turned out. So with that, I'm back here at the school. I don't know what I'll be doing next. It's probably going to be another long while, but my next plans are work more on the town, work more on the train line, and maybe add other smaller things. But if I could get community help, that would be nice. Because building these towns or these buildings wore me out as is. But I can tell I'm rambling, so I'm gonna end it off here for now. So I thank you all for watching. Bye.